Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Adobe Live. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Cody, and I will be your host for the next hour. Here on Power Prompts, it is our goal to empower you to power through your art block. Every month, we create a theme, and every week, we have a prompt based around that theme. And this month's theme is Dogust, if you guys were not here last week. So we are drawing a bunch of doggos all this month. Every Monday, we'll be drawing a different doggo. So last week, our theme or our prompt was playing Frisbee. And this week, our prompt is walk time. So we are going to go on a walk in the park, you guys. If you would like to participate, feel free to do so by posting your work to Instagram with hashtag Adobe Live Power Props. And throughout the stream, a little bit later, we will be going over some community entries that have already been submitted. And hi, everyone. Welcome so much. Thank you so much for joining. It's Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Power Prompts Monday. Hello, Val and Annika, Robert, Katarina, sorry. Barbie, how are you guys doing? Good to see you. Hey, Richard. All right, so we can hop on over to Fresco because that is the program that we will be working in. And I wanted to show you guys before we started on the artwork for today, I wanted to show you the finished piece that I did last week because I finished it off stream. Excuse me. So before we get going, I actually wanted to show you guys a little bit about this piece, and I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a lesson really quick. So I finished this, like I said, I finished this piece offline, and actually, funny enough, this piece is the first piece of artwork that I finished in 4 months, you guys. So if you're feeling like you have like a to-do list of artwork, trust me, I can completely relate. So for this piece, last minute before I posted it, I actually put in these little fireflies here in the background, and I wanted to show you guys really quick how to do that because it's super simple, but I feel like adding that glow effect is can be it can be really beautiful, especially since it's so fast and easy to do. So I just wanted to throw this in really quick before we get going on the next piece. So basically, I'll just make a new layer. And I just grabbed this, the background color. I just used the little eyedropper tool. And I'm actually just going to take that color and I'm going to go up really bright, lighten it and desaturate it a little bit. And I am just going to take my favorite brush, Conte Crayon. You can pretty much use any brush you want. And I am just going to throw in this little dot here because that's our little firefly. And then I'm going to make another new layer. And I'm going to grab the one of Kyle Webster's brushes called Natural Watercolor. It's from his watercolor pack and it's called Natural Edge Painter. And I am actually going to go over here to the left and I'm going to change the layer blending mode, not the brush blending mode, but the layer blending mode. And I am going to change it to overlay. And now I am just going to kind of gently do a little bit of a brush, kind of like loosening my my pressure as we go out to kind of like create that natural gradient. And there we have it. And you can also, of course, do another layer of glow if you want it to be a little bit more heavy and bright. And you can pretty much do this with any color too. This is basically how I add any kind of like glow to anything. Like you could even, if you really wanted to, like come in here and add some glow to like the bottom of the dog or something. Overlay is a really great blending mode for adding glow to objects. Yeah, I really love it. It's great. Hey Corey, how are you doing? Good to see you. Sorry if I'm coughing a lot, you guys. I'm still getting over my sickness. Hi Nicole, welcome. Good to see you. All right, so I am going to undo all of that now, but I just wanted to do that really quick, just to kind of show you guys the little bit of a lesson there. Heineke says this looks really cool. I love the glow effect. Yeah, it's so simple too. It's so easy. Okay, so moving on. I decided to do all of the Dogust dogs on the same file, just for ease of access, and also that way we can kind of reference back to the other ones really quick if we wanted to. So I am actually just going to hide this guy, and we're going to grab this one. So this is our project for today. Different color palette. However, I think I'm going to do the same treatment to it, kind of like how I did the first one, where I did the background kind of monochromatic. And I think I'm going to do that again, but just like I said, in a different color palette. So let's go on in here in this folder. I grabbed, again, I stole this color palette from another one of my old artwork pieces. Hi, Ronan, welcome. Good to see you. Corey says, just working and lurking. Oh, that is perfect. I love working and lurking when I watch streams. It's fantastic. Val says, I love the rectangle window of environments in the background. Awesome, thank you. Yeah, so I'm thinking about, let me actually merge these dog sketch layers. Oops, I'm going to keep that separate. Yeah, so now the dog is on one layer, and then this outline is on another layer. And I also, just to kind of like keep it looking like it's in a series, I actually traced the background rectangle from the first one. So as you can see, it's the same shape. So if they were all like next to each other, like on my Instagram feed, for instance, they'll all kind of look like they go together. Okay, so let's see. I am going to go ahead and lower the opacity of my sketch here. And I'm thinking about how I want to do the background with these colors. I could do a blue background. It doesn't necessarily have to be realistic. I'm thinking that it probably won't be if it's going to be monochromatic. But we can still do kind of like how we did the first one. We can kind of just do like silhouettes of maybe plants or something in the background. Although since we're at the eye level of a dachshund, things are going to be quite large. So we might have, maybe we'll have some like trees in the background, maybe like we're walking through a park or something like that. And I'm thinking about what color we would like the dachshund to be also. We could do a cream dachshund or a brown dachshund, or a black and tan dachshund. I was kind of thinking about doing this golden color as the background and maybe making the dog brown, and then maybe making his jacket the blue color. Hey, Becca, welcome. He's so cute. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I keep coughing, you guys. Okay, so let me grab Conte Crayon, and I think what I'll do is I'll just lay in the background color, and then maybe we can take like a darker color and kind of just lay in some trees, because I actually didn't plan this background at all. As you can see, there's no sketching for the background, so I'm probably just going to make it up as we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and start laying in this color. And of course, also, you guys, if we find as we're working and we feel like, oh, this color isn't really working for the background, we can always just go in and lock transparency and change the color too. And that's a really helpful tool that I use a lot, lock transparency. I pretty much never finish with the colors that I start out with. I kind of just lay something down that feels right. And as I'm working, if I feel like I want to go a different direction with the color palette, or I want to use a certain color in a different area or something like that, then I'll just lock the transparency, brush right over it, and change the color. Alessandra, welcome. Hi, Rob. Welcome. How are you doing? What a cute doggo. Yes, we are doing Dogust this month. If you guys have never heard of Dogust, traditionally, this art challenge runs every single day in August. And usually the drawing prompt list is like a drawing a different breed every single day. But instead, for my Dogust prompt list, since we only do 4 streams a month, I decided to just do actions. So we are doing walk time is our prompt for today. And last week was playing Frisbee. So if you guys would like to participate, please feel free to do so. And you can upload your work to Instagram with hashtag Adobe Live Power Prompts. And I'd love to see your different doggos. And you can choose whatever breed you like. And you can also do this in any medium that you like too. Feel free to do it in traditional mediums or any program you like. This is all just to have fun and draw some cute little dogs. Hope you're feeling better. We're getting there. Still dealing with a cough right now, but that's about it. Also, you guys, I haven't done this in the past, but I wanted to bring up the fact that I am still thinking about what prompt theme we should have for September. And I was wondering if I could get your guys' input if you have any ideas. I was considering actually doing a Spooktember. So we kind of like extend like Drawtober a little bit by doing it into September also, just because our lists are a lot shorter than most like Drawtober lists. So I was thinking about doing Spooktember and then Drawtober. So if you guys would be interested in that, please let me know, or we can come up with something else. We can do, I was thinking about doing for Spooktember, I was thinking about we could like collaborate on like designing different monsters or something, or something like that. I don't know. It's just kind of brainstorming a little bit. Nicole says, ooh, spooky. I love that. Val says, monsters, you say? Indeed. Yeah, the other day, I think it was last Monday, maybe, Anna Davis Court actually did a kind of like a like a choose your own adventure type like design with Adobe Live. And I thought that it was really cute because she had her questions done ahead of time, and they did polls to choose like the style of character, like they did either a round character or a rectangular character, and like what the personality was like. And I thought that that might be fun to do like for monsters, like collaborating, designing a monster with you guys. Hi Dee, welcome. How are you doing? Okay, we are just about done coloring in this background here, you guys. Okay. Now let's grab this color. I'm gonna make a new layer. And this brown is a little bit dark. I might lighten this up, but we'll see what this looks like here. The dark might actually be good because it might gives us some nice contrast. That sounds like a blast. Cool. Yeah, I might do that then, you guys. I think that sounds fun and a little bit different, you know? And then for Drawtober, I don't know what our prompts will be. Like maybe if we'll do like a spooky September, maybe we'll do a less spooky October. Maybe we could do like more of like a fall related October, like a harvest related October rather than spooky. I don't know. I just kind of make these things up as I go. Okay. Harvestober. Yes, indeed. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the golden retriever's leg. So for the back legs, these legs back here, I'm going to actually mix this brown color with the background color a little bit. So I'm going to take this color and I'm going to open up our color menu here. I'm going to open up the color wheel menu specifically because this is where the brush opacity is. And I'm going to lower the opacity of this guy a little bit. And I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to color over top of that brown color. So I'm basically like mixing paint. So now I have this color. I'm going to up my opacity to 100% again. And I'm going to make a new layer underneath that main dog layer there. And so now our back legs, back from this perspective, not the dog's back legs, but the legs from that are on the opposite side of the dog look like they are a little bit farther away. Robert says October must be Val's favorite month. I love October too, honestly. Especially just in the art community specifically. There's a lot going on in October, and it's just a lot of fun. Okay, let's go back up to that other layer up here and let's paint in his little front paw here. And sometimes while I'm working too, I like to just get rid of my sketch here. Just kind of hide my sketch really quick so I can see where we're at with the colors. And I'm thinking it looks pretty good. I think the dark brown looks good. So I'm gonna stick with it for now. Again, I might change my mind as we go, but that's okay. Becca says, I have mixed feelings about fall because I'm always sad to see summer go. Summer is great. Summer definitely has its perks, but personally, I find summer to be a little bit too hot. But summer is a great season. I think personally, I just like the transition seasons. I think I definitely like fall the most. But I also really like spring too. I think his nose might be a little bit too long. I'm gonna push this in just a tad. Okay. And I will also grab that other lighter color that we made for the opposite side legs, and I'm going to do that for his little ear here. There we go. Now it's separated it. Okay. Cool. That's looking good, I think. And let's see. I don't know what color. Should I do his leash blue or should I do the sweater blue? If I did the leash, let's see. So whatever I don't do blue, I could make it the orange color, or I could make it like the light cream color. I could just lay here. I'll just lay in the colors and we can kind of decide afterwards. Because again, we can always go back and change what we don't like, right? So I'm just going to lay this in and we can decide. We can always change it later. So there's that. I think that with the color palette that we have, I'm feeling like I want the sweater blue, just because it will make the dog stand out from the background more. Let's see how I feel. And I also have, in the sketch, I drew these little stripes. I don't know if we'll keep that or not. Can always just experiment. It's kind of just like a little, it's like, I don't know what I was drawing like with this sweater. It looks like a little puffer jacket, like a snow jacket or something. Love the blue for the sweater. You guys want to know a secret? Okay, so this blue is actually not blue. It's a really funny trick that I really like to use in my artwork. And so this blue is actually pure gray. But because the other colors in the palette are so warm, it actually makes the gray appear blue. But I don't really like to use blue in my palettes because I feel like it's too blue. So as I was developing my color palette, I just kept desaturating the blue, and I was like, oh man, I'm just going to use pure gray because it actually looks blue compared to my other colors. So here, I'll show you guys. It's such an interesting trick. I mean, that's color relativity at work right there, right? And everyone is always so shocked whenever I say that it's pure gray. But look at the palette. Right here on the color wheel, if you look in the center square there, you can see, okay, so it's got 3 saturation. It's okay, I'll desaturate it all the way. There, now it's pure gray. But yeah, so if you're ever feeling like oh man, like me, like blue just I felt like never works out for me, try using pure gray and see how it feels to you. And don't be afraid to mess around with these HSB sliders to like really tweak it into colors that you might not think would be the natural color. Because again, like color relativity, it really messes with your mind. Like I know like if you bring in like Renaissance paintings into Photoshop and you like color drop those colors that they used, you're like, whoa, I just looking at that painting, I would have never imagined that color was that color. But that's also a really great learning tool to just kind of like train your brain to see color a little bit differently. But yeah, so cool trick. Blue isn't always as it appears. Okay. So I think I'm actually going to lock the transparency on this guy, and I'm going to grab the natural edge painter just to make the stripes a little bit more subtle. I'm going to try to use this same sweater color and see what that looks like. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to make these stripes just a little bit subtle. Actually, there we go. This one first. instead of using that darker gray that we have, I am just going to paint in the stripes with this watercolor brush. And if you guys notice, I actually started the darker stripes with the first stripe rather than the elastic. And I did that on purpose, actually, mainly because if I were to have made this edge of the sweater dark, we would lose contrast. So because the dog fur is dark, I want the sweater to be light. So I left that gap right there to keep that edge that's against the dark dog fur lighter. Okay, so now let's get rid of the sketch here. Yeah, I like how the stripes are a little bit more abstract with the watercolor. And we can go back and add in some like line details to add more detail and refine it later. Okay. That brush is super buttery. Oh my gosh, I know. Here, I'm gonna demo it on a separate layer because it is so good. It's definitely my favorite watercolor brush. Funny enough, I actually haven't really used the live brushes on Fresco very much. Just because I just already really love Kyle Webster's watercolor brushes that he offers. And also I've just been using them for a long time, so I'm used to them. But this one is definitely my favorite watercolor brush that he has. And I use it for pretty much everything if I use watercolor texture. It's really neat. I think I actually talked about it like a couple weeks ago on this show, but it's really interesting because it like blends itself out. And again, I don't even know how that works with like creating a brush, but like if I draw this line here and I brush back over it, it actually blends out the color as I paint. Like, that's so fascinating. I have no idea how that works, but it is just magic. And then you can also lift up your brush and then paint over it again because it's on a multiply blending mode. So you can basically make multiple layers of watercolor with this brush. It's really, really cool and really useful. Okay, so I think I'm going to kind of like how we did with the first Dogust drawing. I think I'm actually going to come in here and fill out some of this white texture. Like I said last week, if you guys were watching, I mentioned that I have a tendency to lean more towards leaving more texture than I need, just because it's easier to get rid of the texture rather than adding it back in later. So I'm feeling like it's a little bit too busy right now. So I'm just going to go in really quick and just kind of fill in some of this texture so it's not so distracting. D says, I like the texture brush, Cody. It adds life to the drawings. Oh yeah, I definitely agree. I personally really like using these texture brushes that are more like on the traditional side, that kind of look like traditional materials. Elizabeth says, I need to start using Fresco. Oh man, Fresco is fantastic. It took me a while to get used to it just because I personally wasn't used to drawing on a tablet with a screen. But after I got my iPad, and I just really started getting used to Fresco, I actually use it more than Photoshop now, which was my main program, but now I've used Fresco pretty much always now. It's also just like really convenient to just have it in your lap. Okay. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to grab the background color here, and I'm going to actually make a new layer over top of the background color. And I'm going to create a clipping mask. And I'm going to actually make this color a little bit more saturated and a little darker. And I am just going to go in and start kind of like just adding in some trees and stuff here in the background, just to kind of create some kind of environment. Let's see. So obviously, like I was saying earlier, if we're at the eye level perspective of a dachshund, these trees are probably going to be quite large here in the foreground. And I'm just going to kind of make this up as I go a little bit here. Let's see. We could do another one, and then we can also add some smaller trees in the background a little bit more. Illustration and animation, but I want to get into that with Fresco. Oh yeah, the stop animation, the frame by frame animation in Fresco is really great. We actually did a frame by frame illustration on power prompts with Fresco. That was a lot of fun, actually. I enjoyed that. And then I'm also going to take this color and I'm going to lighten it a little bit. And we can do, whoops, here, I'll actually take the background color and we'll just saturate it and darken it a little bit, but not as much as the ones that we were just drawing. And here in a minute, I will hop on over so we can actually check out our community entries. And then we will hop on over back to Fresco after we are done checking out those. Val says I'm doing an animation stream in Fresco tomorrow. Ooh, for graphic glow up. Oh, that's awesome. Gonna check that out, you guys. Elizabeth says, I think I remember stopping by that stream for power prompts. We did one that was a dragon, and then we also did one of a bear knight that was animated. Okay, let me do one more tree here, and then we can hop on over to show off some community entries. Okay, something like that. And don't forget to save your work, you guys, if you're working on any kind of digital artwork. All right, you guys, let's hop on over to Instagram so we can see some entries for this week and also some late entries from last week as well. Here's one from last week that we didn't get to show on stream, but it's so cute. It's a Rottweiler puppy, says Blueberry. So cute. I also really love the color palette for this one. It's very springy and just like the little bushes and things. I love the pop of pink also. And also the textures are really nice too. The framing, the way that they did the framing for the ground is really like nice and artistic. I like how they did like it's almost like the piece of land that the dog is laying on is kind of like bean shaped, and then they added like another little piece to kind of make it like really artsy. I really like that. That's so cute. And also just the pose is really adorable too. And I think, let's see, we have this one for this week by Simona. So adorable also. I'm not exactly sure what type of dog this is. I think it might be a Whippet. I could be wrong, or a Greyhound. But I love the little knitted sweater. It's super adorable. It kind of feels like there's a little bit of a backstory here. Like it almost feels like maybe the owner knitted this sweater for the dog. It's so cute. And then I think they also, yeah, they edited it so there was like different color variations, which is cool too. And then we also have this one from last week. Oh, it's so cute. I love the pop of red here that we have in the flowers is really beautiful, and also the pop of green for the frisbee like really draws your eye towards the frisbee. Yeah, really great. Oh, that one was also Simona. Nice work. Yeah, great work. Thank you so much for your entries. That's awesome. Then we also have this one, which is super cute. I think this one was for this week. But they're kind of like getting out and hiking and stuff, and she looks like the character is taking a picture or a video of her dog. So cute. Love that. And also the textures for the background are really beautiful as well. They have like a tent in the background, like they're going camping and stuff. Super cute. Love it. Excuse me. And then we also have another comic from the Secret Beauty drawings. They love they have so many awesome, beautiful comics of so many of Power Prompts prompts. So go check out their work. They have lots and lots and lots of these comics, and I really appreciate your continued entries. So super cute. I love your little characters. Hi, Grace. Welcome. Good to see you. And then we also have this one, which is also adorable. I think Leah Clark did another entry from last week, but this one was for walking. Oh, it's so cute. I love how the dog has his leash in his own mouth. CJ had suggested that maybe I do that for my illustration today. But I just love seeing those videos online where you see like a dog is just so excited to go for a walk that he just walks himself with his own leash in his mouth. And that's what this reminds me of. So adorable. And I also just love the fur texture on this one too. Becca says, I can see this in a children's book already. Yeah, I totally agree. The colors are really nice and subtle. And the fur texture looks really nice. It looks like almost like a terrier of some kind. Yeah, it looks great. All right, you guys, so those are our entries for this week. I am going to hop back on over to Fresco so we can continue working on our little dachshund. I'm gonna drink some water so I'm not coughing in your guys' ears. Okay. So I think I want to keep like adding some more grass textures, and to do that, to add some more textures, I'm gonna grab this background color, like the main background color, and I'm actually going to just draw that background color onto the trees here. Kind of helps make it look like it's more so in the background. And I can also take this darker background color and throw in some leaves here. Just to kind of like give an idea that we have a canopy of some kind here on the top. This one reminds me of Tintin. Oh yeah, Tintin does have like a terrier dog, huh? I've never actually seen Tintin before. Or a red Tintin, rather. Okay, that looks pretty cute, I think. And let's get rid of the sketch here so we can see what it looks like. And I think that the texture on the dog might be a little bit too much. So I'm gonna go back in and fill that in a little bit. And then I'm also going to grab this darker black-ish color so we can fill in his little face. There we go. And let's also fill in his little collar here. Cody is working super fast today. Am I? That's good. I feel like I always work really slow. Does anybody else feel that way about their work? Like I feel like so many artists finish things so much faster than me. I don't know what it is. Like I kind of always just take forever to do things. But I guess the fact that I am kind of almost done with this piece is a good sign, because like I was saying earlier, I haven't, like, that golden retriever piece was the first piece that I've finished in 4 months. So Becca says, I actually think I work too fast. I don't know if that's possible. Everybody, like, I feel like in the industry, there's no such thing as working too fast. Being able to work fast is like a really good thing for like getting hired for different positions. They want you to be able to work fast. Like, honestly, I feel like sometimes your ability to work fast is even more important than your ability to actually create artwork sometimes. It sounds crazy, but it's true. Okay. There's, I think I'm going to erase some of this so it's not just a full arm here. Let's fill in that line a little bit. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. Let's get rid of our sketch here. So I added some little like detail lines there. Becca says it also means I get bored too quick and I move on without finishing things. I totally understand that as well. Yeah, that can be a struggle. Not wanting to like take too much time on a single piece. Like, okay, I'm tired of this. Let's move on to the next thing, you know. Grace says, I feel like they want a completed project more than a perfect project. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's a good way of putting it. Oh, excuse me. Okay, I think I'm going to grab this other, this kind of like lighter color that we have for the background. And I'm going to go in and, well, for one, I'm going to add more trees, but also I am going to add in some like bushes and stuff to kind of like fill out the background a little bit more. So I'm going to add in some like branches and stuff just to kind of add some more details to the background. But then I'll also add in some like bush shapes back here. Just to kind of give it a little bit of a tree line, I suppose. And then we can finish off the edge down here at the bottom with some more grass. And then I think I also will, let's see, I'm going to go back to this layer. I'm going to get rid of some of these grasses here, these foreground ones. And I am going to I'm going to take this color here. I'm going to make it a little bit darker, or no, I'm going to make it a little bit lighter, I think. And I'm going to draw in I'm going to draw in a little sidewalk. Not that light. Too light, too light. Don't want it to be too light because then it's going to take away from the dog. There we go. That's a little better. In the original piece, I actually had like the owner's leg coming in here behind the dog. But I felt like it actually distracted a little bit too much from the dog, so I decided to take it out. I'm kind of trying to be intentional about like really focusing on the dog rather than having the human in there as well. Like just like really having the subject just be the dog. And if you hold down, if you guys are unaware, if you hold down this touch modifier, just touch it once and hold it, you can actually erase with the brush that you're currently using. So that's why I am holding it down, and then I can just like come back and like chisel away at this, this little sidewalk here a little bit really quickly. Okay, now I'm gonna grab this darker color and kind of just add in some grass to the edge of the sidewalk here. And I also want to add in like the sidewalk pieces like that. Okay. Oh. I think I might actually make the sweater stripes just a little bit darker. Let's grab the natural edge painter again. Oops, and I'm gonna go lock the transparency of that layer. Just kind of wanted the stripes to stand out a little bit more, I think. Hey, John, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Oh, yes, you guys. And don't forget, we only have a few minutes left on this stream, but don't forget to stick around for Annika's brand new stream, What's Next? Coming up next. And I think I actually don't really care for the color that I used for the stripes, not the stripes, but like the detail colors. So I'm gonna go in and lock the transparency for this. I'm gonna darken it a little bit because it's a little bit, I don't know, the color just doesn't feel right to me. It's not quite dark enough. There we go. No, that adds a little bit more contrast there. And let's see, should we add a little eyebrow? I added an eyebrow to the golden retriever. Hey, Barbara, thanks, Cody. I'm learning. I'm glad. And also, if you guys are just stopping in and maybe you're new to Fresco and you don't know how to download Kyle Webster's brushes that I'm currently using, all you have to do is open the brush menu and then go down to add brushes and then discover new brushes. And this little pop-up will show up and you can just press add and remove to any of the brush packs that you would like to work with. And so the brush that I am using currently today for coloring is called Conte Crayon, and also the watercolor brush is called Natural Edge Painter. And Conte Crayon can be found in Kyle Webster's Mega Pack, and the Natural Edge Painter can be found in his watercolor pack. Okay, so let's see. I might actually, let's see, we only got like a couple more minutes left. So I'm gonna turn off my sketch layer here. Oh, and I also need to add in my watermark, which I can do really easily. Just going back to our other dog here. Here's our other dog from last week. If you guys missed that, I'm just gonna go in here and I'm going to go on my little watermark name and I am going to duplicate layer. And I'm just gonna drag that out to our new folder. And obviously it's the incorrect color, but we can remedy that very quickly. So I'm just gonna move this like right about there. And I can just grab this like darker, let's see, darker background color probably. I want it to be there, but not be super like in your face or anything. So yeah, I think that's about good, you guys. I think we finished. We started and finished a piece on stream, you guys. That is just, I think that's the first time that's happened on the show. I guess I was working really fast. We finished this piece already. Yeah, oh my gosh, wow. Kind of perfect timing, honestly. And all right, you guys, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I know we might be ending maybe a couple minutes early, but thank you all so much for watching. This is so fun. Next week, I think our prompt is cuddles. So I have a good idea for that one. So check to come back next Monday for that. I'm considering doing cuddles with 2 different dogs. So I think that that's going to be really cute. But thank you all so much for watching, and stick around for Annika's new show, What's Next? Up Next. All right, you guys, I will see you next week. Bye.